begins to grow, and the momentum is going in the right direction. So as Leah said, this is the time to really go all out, and then we can succeed. And if it goes to different levels, that'll be a tremendous message to the courts, because the courts, some are good at the lower level, but at the Supreme Court, they still need to reach, a much higher standard. So all of this is interrelated, and that's why it's so, so important.
Yeah, one of the things that we can do after we're finished with this panel is take a group picture with all of you and send that to all the senators. One of the things that I
got video
I omitted
with this to the senators
mention
too.
In my first intervention is the fact that one of the positive effects that Bill C-262 will have is it will avoid the many, many court battles between federal government, provincial governments, and indigenous peoples that we have had over the years. It is estimated that the federal government spends between $500 million and $1 billion a year fighting indigenous rights and indigenous status before the courts. That needs to stop if we're serious about reconciliation in this country. And under our current system, the Minister of Justice in this country has an obligation to make sure that any legislation before it is being introduced in Parliament has to be consistent with the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We don't have the equivalent for Indigenous people's human rights in this country. Bill C-262 will do that. I think it is important to realize that when you make clear what those Indigenous human rights are in this country, it will help a lot down the road, all of us. It's going to benefit. All Canadians will be saving $500 million a year. But I think one of the things that is also important to remind ourselves is that we've ended up in court many times over the years, in particular since 1982 when we adopted our Constitution, repatriated our Constitution. And the concept of Aboriginal rights in Section 35 is pretty vague. What does it contain? What rights does it affirm? So it's pretty vague. That's why we always ended up in the courts. But with Bill C-262, acknowledging that the UN Declaration of Indigenous Peoples, the rights of Indigenous peoples, has application in Canadian law. Well, we're clarifying what those rights are, what those political, economic, social, cultural, environmental, and spiritual rights are of Indigenous peoples. So it's clear for everybody. And that's the merit of this bill. And that's why we're all pushing hard. And I'm thankful to see so many people that will help in that push. Thank you very much.
We have some gifts for you. An honor to you for Fred and Brother Shingoose. So my sister Dorothy and my nieces Aliyah and Gabrielle can hand these out. You may be seated.